Alright, hello everybody. Welcome to Motorcycles and Malamutes. Today we are in Portland, which is where I live. Figure we take a little tour of Portland. I'm at the Moto Center now. This is where the Portland Trailblazers lose most of the time. So we're going to be talking about the Triumph Scrambler and why I feel that this bike is always talked about as if it is an excellent beginner bike. It's a bike for beginners, which is a good message. But in that message, I feel that we're missing another key element to the bike is you don't have to be a new rider to enjoy this bike. This Triumph Scrambler is my most favorite bike to commute on, and for a great many other things to do. I gravitate towards the Triumph more than any of the other bikes that I have. So we're going to go for a ride through Portland, and we're going to discuss.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Okay. Let's go into downtown Portland. Woohoo! And as always, it can be a perfectly cloudy day, but because I am filming, the sun is in the camera. That is the core element to Motorcycles and Malamutes. The sun is always shining. Oh, look at the skyline. This is the skyline of Portland, Oregon. You can see there are a lot of bridges in Portland, and I'm on one of them. Yeah, I figured we just aimlessly ride through Portland. It's a beautiful November day, 2025. Take a little tour, discuss this bike, and why I feel that it's an excellent bike, and it's not just for beginners. All right, we are in downtown Portland. Got all the food carts here. Now I think what we'll do is we'll shoot down NATO Parkway here. It's a nice little area. I don't know why I cannot film a video where I'm not headed into the sun. So the Triumph Scrambler, number one, it's 400 cc's, which isn't a ton, but it's enough power to get you in and around traffic with no problems whatsoever. I think 40 horsepower, which is what this bike has, is really kind of a sweet spot, because it's not only can it be entertaining for an experienced rider such as myself. I've ridden many bikes for many years, but it's also not intimidating either if you are a newer rider. But 40 horsepower is darn near perfect in my humble opinion. Fuel economy is phenomenal. The range is phenomenal. And then the most important thing to remember is that the value. This bike here, you know what? Maybe let's go down here. I don't even know what I'm doing at this point. There's the Mercedes-Benz dealership. Ooh, nice little corners. Very fun day today. Oh, hey, here's this is the ice building. Oh, weird. Wonder how crazy it is here. Not very crazy. Hello. It's pretty. Ooh, they got donuts. Not very crazy. Anyway, so reasons why I think the Triumph Scrambler is underrated, even if you're an experienced rider. I've talked a lot about, I think that 400 cc's and 40 horsepower is a nice sweet spot. I think I'm gonna get hit by this car, but I don't want to get over anymore. Get ready, I'm gonna cut over. Boonk. Okay, now I think that the power and the size is a sweet spot that works for both people that are both new into riding and people that are experienced with riding. I also think that this particular bike And I mean specifically the 400 Scrambler. So there's the Speed 400 and then there's the 400 Scrambler. It offers enough capability off-road where you can be entertained. The 400 Scrambler offers enough capacity to go off-road where you can be entertained. So if you only have enough space, money, whatever the situation is, to have one bike in your garage, you can commute on this bike. And I've talked a ton about, I love this bike for commuting because of the great fuel economy, the styling of it, which has nothing to do with commuting, but whatever. It's very practical. It has the bag that you can put on it. Anyway, but then when you get out on the weekends, you can take it off-roading, and you can do some decent off-roads. There's quite a few videos showing what people can do with this bike off-road. I think the only limitation off-road is, you know, ground clearance. If I do stuff that's hard off-road, I will take the Gas ES 700. That bike's capability off-road. You know, it's a pretty hardcore enduro bike. So, but if you have only a spot for one bike, so you get the Triumph Scrambler 400. You can do some off-road stuff, you can commute on it, you could tour on it, and this is going to be my other element to this bike that's underrated. It's extremely comfortable. I am so comfortable on this seat. I can sit on this seat for hours, and I've gotten myself turned around today. And I've been riding since about noon, and it's about, what, 3:15 or so? No, you can see on my clock, it's 2:24. So I've been riding for about 2.5 hours, kind of blindly. Look at that beautifulness. Look at that. See that? That's gorgeous. Gotta love Portland. Anyway, so you can ride a long time, and the seat is exceptionally comfortable. There is a ton of aftermarket support. Oh, those are my people. Well, maybe they're not. They're BMW people. I don't know. Anyway, do BMW people and Triumph people get along? That's a good one. All of the aftermarket items that you can buy for this, you can turn it into a pseudo adventure bike. So you can turn it into an adventure bike. You commute with it, you do a little off-roading with it, all for an extreme value. And I don't know what they're retailing for right now. I bought mine in March of 2025, and I believe, if I remember correctly, the out-the-door MSRP on this bike was $5,700, which, it's insane the amount of capability you get for $5,700. I think, you know, if you're looking at bikes that can do different things in that price range, you might be looking at like a CRF 300L Rally, something like that, which I think is a little bit more, to be honest. And that's where I will say the power level and that 40 being a sweet spot, because if you look at a 300, they don't have enough power to keep you entertained, whereas on a 400 you really are pretty entertained with it. Love the exhaust note on this bike, and I know this is a lot of stuff that I've spoken about earlier, but I just think, you know, I watch enough YouTube videos on discussing, you know, how great this bike is for a beginner getting into motorcycling. I just think you can be riding for 20 years like me and still love this bike. So Jake's Famous Crawfish, I've eaten there once. I made a fool out of myself. It was for a work event, but I still ordered the crawfish, and they got everywhere, but it was cool. It was pretty cool. The last section of this journey took me through Northwest 23rd Street in Portland. You can't quite see this, but the streets were incredibly busy. A lot of hustle and bustle, a lot of really cool shops as we went through Northwest 23rd. It was a really cool place. I was glad I was on the motorcycle because pretty tight for all the vehicles that are in there, but pretty fun ride, pretty fun place to explore if you're in the Portland area. So Northwest 23rd. All right, so as we leave the tour of Portland and head home, which is still in Portland, by the way, in the east side of Portland. So now we are heading on to 84 eastbound. There's the convention center where all the auto shows and cool stuff like that are. I wanted to take you guys, to one of my favorite things as I head home from work every day. I always see this view here. I've always wanted to stop right here. Look at this view. So this is the Portland skyline, and then that's Waterfront Park, which we were at earlier today. Absolutely beautiful. So we'll go ahead and wait for a break in traffic and go, but I just wanted to close with this. All right, let's sign off. Please like and subscribe for more content for all of your favorite motorcycles. But if one of your favorite motorcycles happens to be a Triumph Scrambler 400X, buy one. I gotta tell you, just get one. Stop putting it off. You're not going to be disappointed. Take care, everybody. Have a great day.